this. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to share my screen before I start. Right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you for the response. Right. I just need to figure out where is the thing. All right. Just a minute. I'm moving this into another monitor screen so that I have enough space here to present it. Use the slideshow. Okay. It's not here. Let me minimize it. Welcome, everyone. So, as all of you have joined today on a Sunday evening, leaving everything aside, I believe that you are very much interested in learning more about communication or improving your communication skills, and I'm very happy about it. Okay, so let's jump straight into the session. Okay, so today what we are going to learn is about effective. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys, 1 minute. It's showing some other slides. Okay. All right. Is it showing in both places? Two slides. So okay. Now we are in slide number 1. Okay. So I'm having little technical difficulties. 1 minute. Participants. Okay. Dushi, I'm going to make you the co-host so you can admit people. I don't want to get disturbed. That okay?
Yeah, Chitra. Just which button I'm supposed to
Sorry?
press? That's all.
Just say admit. That's it.
Okay, it will be on my screen, right? Yeah, I'm
Okay.
on from phone.
Okay, don't
Yeah.
worry, don't worry. I'll make Nehemiah. Nehemiah, can you do that?
Okay.
Jack, are you at home? Jack?
No, Chitra, no, Chitra.
Sorry?
No,
No,
Chitra, no, Chitra.
I'm not calling you. I'm asking Jack. Nehemiah, Horeb. Are you at home? Can you moderate for me? Admit the people for me. He's not up. Okay, Gushi, just when people join, it will just show admit. You just need to admit, press the admit button. That's it. Okay. I hope you have a stable internet.
I have stable internet.
Okay.
So it's just that I'm from the phone only. I'm getting connecting. That's all.
Okay, guys, I need help. Who all?
Chitra, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me make you the co-host. Person. Okay, I made you the co-host. Prasanna, just unmute people. Okay, yeah.
That's a nice way. Okay.
People don't join on time in spite of reminders. Okay. All right, let me just go to Zoom and share the screen. Desktop one, share. Okay, I hope everybody can see my presentation file. Thank you for joining today. I do believe you all want to improve your communication skill. I've set up a time that is like hour and a half, or maybe if all of you are catching up very fast, we can finish it in 60 minutes as well. So communication is a very, very vast topic. But today I will try and cover what I feel is most important for you all. Okay, so you can ask all the questions at the end. But I feel like if as I go along, I will be able to cover everything as much as possible. Okay, so welcome. Let's move on to the next slide. How it is appearing when I put it here, it is just showing. Okay, having a little difficult. Okay. All right. Just a minute, guys. I need to run the slide. I'm so sorry. Today I'm having little difficulty. All right. So what is communication? Okay. Does anybody want to respond to this question? What is communication?
It's like sharing what you intended to say and convey it to the person on the other side. It can be for a task, or it can be just an exchange of conversation, or whatever your thoughts are you're conveying.
Thanks. So do you guys see the single screen on your desktop or on your mobile, or you are seeing a presenter? This is okay.
Present.
Yes, I'm switching on. Okay. When I go to the switch swap, it is going to others. With this one, no, and when I recorded it, it should come big. No, that's what I'm saying. This two screens I don't want. Swap displays. How does it appear now, guys, on your mobile? Is it a single?
It's a single slide.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry about it. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Nivedita, for responding to that. So basically, in simple terms, I just want to say communication is a process by which information is exchanged between two individuals. Okay, if we talk to ourselves, it's not communication, but if it is the information is exchanged between two individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, visuals, text, or behavior. Behavior in the sense of non-verbal communication. Okay. What are the goals? Why should we learn communication? Okay, and what can we achieve by what can we achieve by using effective communication? Okay, to be able to adjust, tweak, and tune our behavior when we are presenting or when we are communicating with others, and to get some actions done, and to understand others, and to persuade and influence people and also to get and give information in a way that we all can understand. Okay, so that is the goal. There are different aspects of communication. Like I mentioned at the beginning, communication is a very, very vast subject that I won't be able to cover in an hour, considering all our timings. I felt that there are few things that I can really talk about today, and then maybe in New Year, if required, we can talk more about it. We can have more sessions. But today I just thought of covering few aspects. I will let you know. So there's business communication, there's interpersonal communication, and these are the aspects of communication. There's active listening, there's presentation skills, how to present, and there is a written communication, and there is emotional intelligence for successful communication, and also communicating with empathy. Okay, so there are so many aspects are there. Okay, let's start with the types of communication. Okay, there are two types of communication. One is verbal and the other one is non-verbal. Okay, when it comes to verbal communication, we speak to people or we present information, yeah, we speak or we present in various ways. Okay, so how do we effectively communicate verbally? Okay, we use words to communicate, and what we could do is we could use simple language when we are speaking to people. Let's say within the wow circle, we use a lot of terminology. So when you are going to speak to others who don't have any information about wow, don't have any exposure, you might want to avoid the jargons and slang. Like we use a lot of terminology or the fluidity or all the technical words that we use, right? So even if you are communicating with people, it again, I'm going to cover all those aspects in the upcoming slides, but when you are talking to people, if you want it to be very effective, you need to avoid jargons and slangs. Okay, it again depends with whom you are talking, whether you're talking to your friends or your best buddies or your family or acquaintance or friends. All that it all depends, but basically make it very simple to be effectively communicating verbally. Okay, and also if you're talking in a business setup or workplaces, make sure that the grammar is correct. Okay, and also when you're talking, the voice modulation is very important, which includes diction, tone, pitch, volume, rate, the rate in which, the speed in which you speak, volume, how you modulate your tone up and down, what kind of authoritative or a friendly, like now I'm presenting, so I'm the presenter, so I'm little semi-casual. I won't be like too formal because you all are part of the community. So I will use a semi-formal or like a semi-formal kind of a tone. But when I'm presenting, definitely I'll use authority and I'll be a bit formal as well. Okay, so verbal communication includes the words and the voice modulation, and non-verbal non-verbal communication includes, okay, when you're presenting or when you're talking also, even when you're talking also, the gestures are very important. Okay, you should know, I mean, all of us look at ourselves in the mirror every day. You should know how you look. You should know how you look when you speak to people, how you make eye contact, how you make hand gestures, how you modulate or regulate your voice, and how many words, whether it is you are using like a Shashi Tharoor kind of a language or you are using a simple language. So that is also important. And also when you are speaking, people can easily, whether they know presentation skills or communication skills or not, they get to know whether you are nervous or not. They don't need to do a PhD to do that when you're presenting, when you're talking, whether you are you know the subject. If they're intelligent, I mean, most of us will be able to understand. If some presenter goes on the stage and they are talking, they are a little bit nervous, then you know they'll like kind of a bite and nails, or they'll do a little bit of fidgety, or stumble upon the words. So people can easily figure out. So there are a lot of techniques when you're presenting. You can take a deep breath, or you can relax yourself before you go onto the stage. Of course, first time, second time, you feel a bit nervous, but once you are used to the crowd, you are used to talk in front of a lot of people, you won't feel nervous. Okay. So be aware of like how you present your body, how you present your tone, how you present your speech. That is all a part of the non-verbal communication. Okay. And also your posture, you can't be stooping and walking so much of like you can't be going around the hall if you're presenting, or if you're talking also, you can't be distracting. Your body movement cannot be distracting when you're talking to people or when you're presenting to people. Okay. Shoulders erect and then stand straight. Okay. Your posture really conveys a message to people, how confident you are, what you think about yourself, everything comes out. Okay. How confidence, esteem, what you think about yourself, how confident are you about the subject. Everything comes out the way you present to others. Okay. Whether it is a personal or a friendly circle, or it's all subconscious cues people will get. They will observe it, and they'll know, especially when you're meeting people for the first time, then it just takes few seconds for people to have an impression about you. Okay. So these are the non-verbal cues, and also facial expressions. How are you a serious person, or you are just a lively, fun person? When you talk to people, they'll be able to figure it out. Okay. If you don't look at people's eye contact, you're just always looking at other side, people know that you're not confident, you're kind of a shy, you are avoiding. Okay. So these are the non-verbal cues. Okay. Next one is, what are the keys that how we can communicate effectively with people? Okay. One is, you should know your subject. Okay. Especially in a group setting, if you're going for a party or for a seminar, or in any group setup or a community setup. Okay. And you want to have a small talk, you're meeting people for the first time. You got to figure out some commonalities or subjects that people would be able to talk. Okay. You can't go as a subject matter expert and then talk. It'll be like you talk all the time and dominate the conversation. It's going to be a one-sided conversation. It won't be a conversation, it'll be a one-side talk. Okay. So especially, and then you are presenting at a workplace or in a business setup, business meetings, you should know your subject. You got to prepare very well. Okay. And also focus on the purpose. When you're communicating, okay, we just can't be loose, talking anything and everything that's coming onto our mind, especially if our mind is just cluttered. We really don't know what we are going to achieve out of this talk. You know, you talk something and then you end up somewhere else. You really don't have any clue of what is the purpose, what is it that you are trying to talk, what message are you trying to convey to the other person, and how do you want them to respond, and what is the purpose of the whole conversation. Okay. We got to figure it out. Okay. If you want to be an effective communicator, you should know, you should focus on the purpose. Okay. Then know your audience. Okay. Especially when you are presenting, or even in a casual setup, a church setup, or a gathering, or in a formal setup, office setup, you should know who your audience is. Let's say you're presenting a business proposal, or you're presenting something to the other department, or to your clients. Okay, you should know how much expertise they have, little bit of work background check, or a little bit of information about the people to whom you're presenting. It's good to know about your audience. Okay, good to know about your audience, who they are, how knowledgeable they are, and what is their expectation, what kind of people they are, what's the culture behind it. All this will help you to be prepared and present very well, so the synchronicity can happen. Otherwise, it's going to be a mismatch. The expectations will be different, and sometimes if you are not careful about the cultural stuff, then you might come across offensive, or you might, like you might look like a novice, right? So you should know, you can't be going and talking a topic on which the people already like don't know so much. Okay, so you need to be aware of your audience, what kind of people are gathering. So when we go for presentation, we normally do, okay, what is the age category, what's their background, and what do you think is their expectations. So all these things we normally figure out. Okay, now for this workshop, if you have come up, then most of them, like 99.9%, I know I would have interacted with you several instances, or at least 1 or 2 instances. So I know, I kind of know what's your expectation is, what's the age category, and how much exposure you have, something of that sort. I'm aware of it. So on that basis, I have customized this workshop with the content which will be really useful for you. Okay. Next is use a confident tone. One small tip over here is that assume, like, okay, that you are the best presenter and you're going to give a best shot, and be confident of, if you know what you have prepared and what you're going to talk, you know your content, then you can be really confident. And also a pitch. Okay, you just need to be calm and composed. You can't be nervous. Even if you present 3 or 4 slides, just be very confident about it, and very peaceful about what you're going to do and how you're going to do. Do a little bit of rehearsal. Now, I've been presenting for last like 15-20 years, so for me it's not a big deal at all. But initial stages, what I would do is I would just rehearse it. I'll probably go in front of a mirror, or I will just look at my laptop or phone, and then I just do 1 round of rehearsal, what exactly I'm going to talk. Okay, so today I didn't do anything. I just hardly have any time to just prepare the slides, and because it's a subject that I really know a lot about, and I've learned and practiced it, so it's not a big deal for me. So I'm just presenting to you guys, but it might be helpful for you if you're new and you want to present it. You might want to do one kind of rehearsal, either with your friend or a family member, to your dog, cat, whatever. It'll really help. Okay, practicing really helps. And when you're doing that, you will also know where is your weak point, where is there anything that you need to prepare a little bit more. Okay. Next is be vibrant and enthusiastic. And normally what we do is, like, before the meeting starts, we go and handshake with people just to make them warm and receptive. Okay, it's always, you would have seen me, if I'm in a physical gathering or any setup, I would always go around and shake hands with people, familiarize, just pass on the energy that I have. Okay, come up with some enthusiasm, have a little talk, and make people feel accepted, warm, and already when you shake hands, you have a little talk or just smile, you already won 50% of the battle. Okay, they're going to receive you very well. These are little tricks. Okay, and whatever is the pressing issues that you have, just leave all that beside, and then be vibrant and enthusiastic. Just speak as if this is your last opportunity to win $1 million lottery kind of a thing. Give your best. Okay. If you are boring, if you don't have energy, then people are not going to listen to you, no matter how much ever, however best your presentation would be. You just need to be enthusiastic about your own presentation. Okay, so that you can pass on those energy to the people around. Okay. Next is speak at moderate speed. Like nowadays, people are very accessible. They have a lot of information available in their mobile phone, internet, and Instagram, the reels, and so much information is available through so many applications. So you really don't have to speak very slow unless until people are hard of hearing or something. So also you don't have to really rush if you really want people to understand. So speak at a moderate speed and have a little pause after you want to say something very important ideas. You want to stress on those ideas, then you can have a pause, like a few seconds. Okay. Are you good so far? Are you guys good? Yes?
Yes, Chitra.
All right. Great. Next is there could be some barriers to effective communication. Okay. If we are aware of it, then our communication could be really effective. Okay. Sometimes we are not aware of it. So let's see what are those. Okay. Like I said, that we need not assume, okay, that we should not have any assumptions of this is what the people are expecting from me. It's if somebody is asking you to go present or asking you to go speak at an event, so you would want to know at what depth you want to speak, or and what is the time that you can take. Many times people just by the time they start, they go all over in the beginning. Okay, when you are presenting in the first 5 or 10 minutes, if you can get the attention of people, you won it. Okay, but if you just lose the first 20-25 minutes, you speak a lot of introduction and you lost the crowd. Okay, so know how to present in the first 5 to 10 minutes. You just do some kind of a fun joke or some statements that you can get the people onto, or some sort of little activities, so get the attention of people. Okay, and also cultural aspects. If you really want to know, if it's a diverse community, you really want to know the culture, and what's the topic, and what depth you got to be presenting. Okay, so don't have any assumptions that just because they have invited you and what you're going to present is going to be the final and the best one. Okay, so these are very important. Fear. Okay, so don't have any fear of being rejected. Okay, there is every step of failure leads us to, it's like failure is a building stone for your success. Okay, so never feel that you will be rejected, or people will not listen to you, or you're going to be wrong. Do proper research of before if you are presenting a data, do proper research. We have so many tools available, so much of data available. Okay, and if somebody is continuously, if you're presenting, somebody is continuously distracting the whole 50-100 people are there in the room, and then somebody is really wanting so much of attention, then you should know how to manage that kind of a situation. Okay, and if somebody is like really in a small setup, if somebody is really coming at you, you should know how to confront and how to manage it nicely, very diplomatically, so that everybody doesn't get distracted by those things, situations, or people. Okay. Also, when you're presenting, just because the less is more effective, it's not the more is effective. Nowadays, we are really living in a time and age where everything is very fast. Food is fast, entertainment is fast, and everything people really want, in a jiffy. So the attention span of people is also limited. Okay, so you really want to present it very concise and clear. Don't do too much of information overload, then they will lose everything. Okay. Next is the generation gap. Where you're presenting also really matters, whether you are speaking one-on-one or you're presenting to school children. You'll not talk so officially, like, but you should know how to speak to children versus college students versus when you're speaking to a sports event, how to talk. You should know the audience and what to prepare and what is the delivery, the mode of delivery. Okay. And also, like, you're not going to be speaking like, without respect with the senior citizens when you're speaking to them, or some CEOs. So you should know. And also there's a lot of the information, the way they grasp the information, different generations do it in a different way. But definitely it's better to have an idea about to whom you're talking to, presenting to. Okay. And also lack of energy and honesty. Suppose if you are trying to bluff, trying to act too smart, then people will really know. So let's not do that. And also, if you come across like a boring person, people won't, it will be a barrier to effective communication. Okay. So avoid misunderstanding and confusion and distraction by being mindful of all the above things. Let's not have assumptions or fear or no information overload, and know who you are talking to, and have the maximum amount of energy, and be honest when you're presenting. Let's say you have a Q&A session. At that point in time, somebody's asking a question, you don't know the answer, you really don't have to bluff. You can say, I'm sorry, I'll have to get back to you. Is that okay? I always say, if I don't know the things, then I'll say, let me get back to you. And that is something that people will really appreciate, rather than bluffing for the things that we really don't know. Okay. And now is the main course. I've started the main course. Introduction is over. What kind of communications and what are the barriers and how to communicate effectively. All that is introduction is over. Now it's an important part wherein different people communicate in different styles. Okay. That has to do with a lot of where they lot to do with where they study and how their addiction is and what's their environment, and how the nervous system is wired, and what kind of roles they play, what kind of office they operate in. There are so many things involved in that. Okay. There's no one way of one style is good or better, but you can improve on it. Depending on the audience, you can try to slightly change the style if possible, but at least if you know the presenter, what is the style they have, then it'll be easy for you to understand. Okay. And also, depending on the audience, what kind of style you can have, that is something that you can look into. Okay. So approach the target audience in a way that suits them the best. Okay. Let's say you're speaking, you are a teacher, and you have to teach to the school students. Then probably you will use the authority, and also a little bit friendliness, and monitor the delivery of the message and how you are being perceived to influence your thoughts. Okay. There's always a feedback session in like a Google form or surveys done. Continuously, we got to evolve ourselves to improve from one stage to go to the one level to the other level. So if you really want honest feedback, you really want to improve, then go ahead and ask people on how they perceived your presentation, or how they have perceived your speech. Now, I could be speaking in a way that I feel is the best, but my level is like this, and then maybe somebody who's like not up to that, or maybe they are super confident, and then for them I might come across different. So just because I know that I have the best content and I believe that I'm presenting the best doesn't necessarily mean it is the same way everybody else is perceiving about me. So that's where the feedback system is very important. If you really want to have feedback, ask your friends, your colleagues, or wherever you are presenting, ask for a feedback and then work on it. Okay. So first style is expressor style. Okay. Expressor style is, these are the personality. These are the people with personality. They are very jovial. They are fun to be around. They're always talking anything and everything from their mind. There is no diplomacy. There is no hiding things. They are very expressive. Okay. They are just like an open book. Okay. Next one is director style. Okay. Somehow I feel like I can fall into a little bit of director and the another style that I'm going to speak to you guys. That's because I've always been a person who really want to get things done, delivery mode, and then because of a lot of things we have to get done. And always I've worked with a huge number of people at work. 44 people were reporting to me in IBM, and when it comes to NGOs, like hundreds of people really I work with. So when you are working with a mass scale of people, there's a structure, and then you also want to delegate things. You really want to get things going, but at the same time, the relationship is important as well. Okay. So the directors, they are very clear and direct. They will speak to you. This is what I want to get done. And if there is a need, they'll also give instructions. In my case, I really spoon feed everybody in the initial stages, and later on, I want them to be proactive in whatever they are supposed to do, especially the coaches and the others, right? The director style, people with a personality of a personality or the communication style as director style, they really want to get things done. They desire results, and they are very fast paced. Okay. And in the process of getting things done, there could be some conflicts at times. Okay. About which they may not even realize at times. So it's good to ask for feedback. And also they sound very confident. Okay. And the next one is analyzer style. Okay. They are always analyzing about everything in the whole world. Okay. So they are very much focused on how this person is doing, what they're doing, and how many times they have already done. They're very good in the numbers and their memory. Okay. They are always focused on the data and the information, but decision making for them is very little slow. They was slightly difficult for them. Okay. And they'll never want to have conflicts with people. Okay. And also when there is a change, it's difficult for them to adapt change unless until data is given to them, data and information for them. If they have analyzed it and okay, for everything they need, they just rely on the data and information just so much. Okay. So that is analyzer style. Okay. So next is relator style. So I kind of mix and match with the director and relator style. That's my personality, if I understand right. And they are team players. They always keep checking with people. Is this okay? Is there anything we can do? Do you have any other ideas, suggestions? Do you have? Can you just take this up? And how can I help you to get these things done? And also demonstrating how to do things. and helping people. Okay, so these are the these personality have a relator style. They are more worried about the relationship. Their decision is based on relationship. Okay, and they always demonstrate empathy. They are very loyal people. They're dedicated. They really don't want to have conflicts. Okay, are we good so far? Can somebody unmute and tell me how are we doing?
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Now, next thing is very important, guys. Again, like I said, interpersonal communications are very, very, very vast subject. There's so many things about it, but I have come up with the core of it, the important things that you need to know about interpersonal communication. What is interpersonal? Talking within people, okay? You are talking with others, okay? And this is very much required where no matter whatever you do, whether you are studying, you're working, you're running a business, you're running an NGO, interpersonal communication is the key to make it a success, okay? So what do we need to know? Interpersonal communication is nothing but exchange of information, ideas, feelings through verbal or non-verbal communication between two or more people. Okay, so that we saw already. And so one could always ask, how do I communicate with, I'm always really not sure, like, how do I communicate with, what's the difference in communicating between with my colleagues versus my boss? And how do I respond in tricky situations? I really don't know how to do, okay? So what are the things that you need to understand or keep in mind when you are interacting with your colleagues or peers, that is people who are at the same level? Okay, so build rapport. Okay, build rapport means you simply and this is like, I've seen this very often. Just because somebody is part of the community or part of the organization, people really think that you can just go and ask, demand anything from anybody just by being by being an employee or being a member in the community or being a coach in the community. People have like so much of entitlement for my time, for your time, for help, resources. It has to be really two-way. You really have to honor the person who's supporting, who's helping all the time, and be gracious to acknowledge and reciprocate it. Reciprocation is something that I don't know, like many people don't do it. It's like a very subtle thing in the mind that taking things for granted, okay? Or you are really grateful, but you don't know how to express it, okay? When you express gratitude to people, you'll really come across as a person who will be very pleasant to work with, pleasant to talk to. And next time you go to that person really will be open to help you, okay? And when you say thanks to others, it also gives you a dopamine shot, and because you're being grateful, okay? So it's a matter of you're creating, we all are part of the community, so we are creating with words constantly, okay? But if you just shut your mind, okay, I attended the workshop, just leave it at that, okay? So how are you wiring yourself? With the gratitude, or you just want to take things for granted and just leave it at that? Or you really want to practice your communication skills, at least for that sake, okay? Not only here, even when somebody is helping you in a public place, like it's like how many of some of you might have traveled in US, for every single thing you have a nice day, even every shopkeeper, they greet you, how are you today? Even the Uber driver, and then you have a nice day, they always start and end with greetings, okay? It's really good thing to do, huh? And also thank you is used very often. Okay, so build rapport before asking for help. Okay, and also help and respond. Okay, let's not be mean people. Only when I want to help, I will communicate. Other times I just don't even respond. Okay, that kind of attitude is not good. Not only from communication perspective, but as a person, you got to really wire your nervous system in the right way to be a person with gratitude. Okay. I'm sharing a lot about it because it comes under culture as well. Okay. So build a rapport, or at least when somebody is helping, just tell them, how can I help you in return, or any point in time, if you really want me to help for this, please remember that I'm there for you. Okay. We are living in a community. Okay. And interpret non-verbal cues. When you are communicating with your colleagues, okay, sometimes this is the body position and the feet will be this side, okay? Means this side is the door and they want to go this side, right? So look for the cues, non-verbal cues, or somebody is like really like this, put their hand on the cheek and then they are showing like that. Okay, that means they are really tired. The feet direction is this side and the body is this side. They're really in a hurry to go away, go, or somebody is continuously looking at their watch. It means they are giving you a cue that they are getting late and you might be boring them with your non-stop communications or whatever stories that you have to say. Okay, so when you're talking, be observant of the non-verbal cues. Okay, and the tone in which people are expressing. Okay, and how much enthusiasm they are showing when you're talking. You'll be able to figure out whether people are really engaging or disengaged or really bored. Okay, and then next is make your requests effectively honorable. Okay, when you go to ask help, even if it is your parents or if your best friends, okay, make your request effectively. Be in a place of a recipient and practice honor. Okay, and when the help is given, acknowledge it. I think I've spoken about it already. Honor the mode of communication. The other thing is, if somebody really wants you to text or email, but you might be calling all the time, that could really irritate the other person. Okay, or somebody really wants to, if you want to talk or discuss about something, some people will really prefer a Zoom call or a phone call, but you might be sending one full story in an email. Okay, that's going to just not get any response. No action will be done because they already lost it. Okay, so when you're coming, if you really want to be communicative, effective in communication, do know what is the preferred mode of communication for the other person. Okay, one time I had a manager who was excellent. When I speak to him in person, everything gets done. But the moment I was working in a remote location, the moment I'm sending email, there's no response at all. Then I always used to wonder, what is it that I'm writing wrong and all that stuff. Then later on, I understood that he prefers any difficult situation or decision making. He really prefers me like a in-person kind of a conversation. I'm able to influence him and convey my message or take decisions promptly. Okay, so even when you're talking to your colleagues, just know what is their preferred mode of communication. Okay, if we are joined a new work or like new workplace, and then say, hey, should I talk to you often, or you prefer email, or what do you think? It's good to know what is your preferred mode of communication. There is nothing wrong. People will not hang you for asking that question. Okay. Next is supervisor and manager. How do you, different companies have different culture. Some, most of the time we call our managers and directors by name, but depends on your company culture. You want to address them appropriately. And when you are new or you moved projects or moved departments or moved organizations, you should really know how to prioritize. You're handling, let's say 4 projects or 5 tasks. You should know what tasks to focus on, what's the priority for each task, okay? Otherwise, you will have a mismatch of expectations between your boss and you. And even though you might be working so hard, if that is not the priority of the project that your boss wants to work on, your manager wants to work on, then you're not going to get your promotion or increments, okay? So, and also for just, you can't assume that this task is going to take this much time and I will work in my own speed and, I'll take my own sweet time. Ask for the timeline and do a research how much time it takes and just figure it out. And also that doesn't mean that you have to really comply on whatever has been given to you. You also can push back. If you know a particular task needs 3 hours and the boss is asking you to do in 30 minutes, 1 hour, you have the rights to push back and say, no, I need more time, okay? Rather than just being stressed and then saying, yes, I will do in 1 hour and then being a disappointment, push back and say, set the expectations correct. Okay. Get the guidance needed. You can have a weekly one-on-one, depending on what kind of culture, how your corporate is. You can keep checking in with your boss, whether you are old employee or a new employee, or you're working for somebody, or you're running a company. Actually, keep the communication line open all the time. So there won't be any misunderstanding or conflicts or stressful situations or missed deadlines. Okay. Next is tricky situations. How do we handle? Sometimes we don't know how to handle stressful situations or tricky situations. Okay. Many times when you're doing something new, you're accomplishing something, or you're doing something very unique and very new in the market or in your community, there will be a lot of well-wishers and there will be not so well-wishers also. So if you're going to believe every feedback, if you're going to process everything that is coming at you, you'll be really confused. So you should decide from whom I will take the feedback and why. And the rest of them, just ignore it. And definitely, if you are working in a corporate or a company, take feedback from your manager, because he or she is the person who's going to give you the promotion and increments. Okay. Next is don't react in stressful situations, but respond. Take a deep breath and don't immediately shout or walk away. Just learn to respond. Okay. Next is if you are being interrupted in a team or in a team setup, know why you are being interrupted. Whether it is the one person who has problem with you or the whole team which has a problem. You got to identify yourself, all those things. Okay. Otherwise, you won't be able to communicate effectively your ideas, your suggestions, your values. Okay. So how are we doing so far?
Perfect.
Is it information overflow or how is it?
Oh,
All good?
all good.
Okay. I'm going to finish in another 15 minutes. I know that I have mentioned 7 to 8 o'clock, but we started a bit late, 10 minutes late. So I'll take 10 minutes more, 10 or 15 minutes more, and it's going to be really helpful for you guys. Okay. One of the most important things, most important things in communication is listening. If we have not learned to listen to the other person, then we lost it. We can never be an effective communicator at all. Okay. First and foremost, I really emphasize on this. Be a good listener if you want to be a good communicator. Okay. Communication is successful when all parties share the same meaning. Okay, just a minute. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, communication is successful when all parties share the same meaning. Okay, good listening skills gives us the power in conversations, helps us interpret and debate and dominate. Okay, and 99% of communication is from the voice, and the inflection and the expressions and body language. Okay, you must be thinking, my words are really good, my presentation is good, but your non-verbal cue is not good, then you lost it. Okay, then it may not be effective. All right, so communication involves a lot of different things. It's not only what you speak, how you speak. Okay, and what are the message that you are sending to your audience? All that matters, right? Avoid extremes, or what is avoiding extremes? Okay, effective listening gives us the power to avoid assuming the speech before they speak. Okay, let's say you're so used to somebody. Okay, this person, the moment they open their mouth, you know, you're assuming a lot of things in your mind. Oh, this is what this person is going to say. Oh, again, this person is going to ask money. Again, this person is going to ask for help. Again, the same boring topic they are going to talk. Okay, so don't be extreme when you're talking, even if you know that person very well. Okay, don't assume before they speak. Okay, and sometimes we are so enthusiastic that when a person is speaking, people start writing down, oh, okay, it's very close, this topic is very close to my heart, I'm going to write and my action plan. So you're missing what is being said. Okay. Next is debate and revolt. Suppose you are in a very uncomfortable situation, a topic or a task that you are not at all comfortable with. Okay, avoid revolting and debating on the spot. Okay, the things, conflict resolution is again a different topic. We can discuss about it next year, but avoid revolting in public. Okay, allow things to settle and process it. Okay, don't try to be a control freak, that what you want only should happen. We always considerate about some things that when we are not interested, you give a listening ear. Sometimes it might be very helpful for you in several aspects. That's what I learned. Okay, so it also increases our patience. Okay, next is deciding if topic is relevant or not within first few seconds. Let's say you are compelled to go and sit in a presentation. You don't want to really decide within the first. Oh, okay, it's like a judging. Okay, it's judging within the first few seconds if this is going to help you or not. You never know what is going to help when. Okay, so have a listening ear. Again, listening is the most important thing you can do when it comes to effective communication. And also sometimes when people whom you don't like is speaking, then you just shut your ears. Everything just goes above the head. Okay, don't be like that. And also, if a presenter is like, if somebody is speaking, okay, don't start thinking what they are going to think about you, about your dress, about your hairstyle, about your makeup, and all those things. Just pay attention to what they speak and what they are trying to convey to you. Okay. Let's not be so self-conscious. Next is effective written communication. Okay, it's very important. How we come across as a person through written communication is very important. Building relationship and getting business deals done, getting promotions or increments done. Most of the time, if you're working in a corporate or IT company, you know, a lot of communication goes through, you know, like it's more of a written communication. Okay. Stand out from the crowd. Okay. The research shows on an average, a person working in a company receives 121 email. So you are sending and your manager might be getting more than that. Like I remember one point in time, I used to receive 350 mails in a day at least. And I really should know what to read first and what to take action on first, because we were handling 66 clients, and every client want their thing to be done first, right? So we should know really, and there are some communication from team members and so many things. So that's like, you should know what to focus first, and also you should know how to get the attention from your boss or from your colleague. So it depends on how you write. Okay, first and foremost is the subject line. Okay, focus on the subject line and make it easy for the other person to take action or not to take action, right? If you say FYI, for your information only, then that person can take a time to read it. Maybe they have some other priority to work on some emails. Okay, and a lot of subject that we have the communication guidelines in corporates. We have the labels also, confidential and extremely confidential, and for public, internal, in all those labels are there. So we stick to that. But in the subject line, you can really put like action required. If you really want somebody to take action, then you want to get their attention first. So put it in the subject line, action required or urgent or confidential. Make sure that the other person gets the priority or the urgency of the matter by writing it in the subject line. Okay. And also when you really want to convey something really good, people understand the infographics or visuals better than the text, because we all are reading text all the time, every day. And yeah, I think I have covered this already. Middle is the mud. Okay. If you're writing a long email or a long speech, whatever is said in the middle is lost. So be very careful of how you start it and then get the point, and then also how you conclude it, the end of the email or end of the essay, the end part of the essay, it's all taught in school as well. So be very precise or concise and clear on what exactly you want to convey. Okay, shorter the better, but the body should contain what you want to convey actually. Okay, so don't write long sentences. Less takes more. Okay, so yeah, so let's take more, and then I think I have completed what I need to cover. Let me just get here. All right. Just get this one too. Okay, guys, so how was it? How many of you there? How many of you enjoyed the presentation, the workshop?
It was wonderful, Chitra.
Was it useful?
Yes, Chitra. Great.
Okay, cool. Thank you for your time. Like I mentioned, I have completed in time, and 1 minute. Right. All right. There are some queries which I will respond individually, but any questions? It's 8:15 now. Any questions so far?
One thing is that, Chitra, like when you in a tricky this thing, how do you come out of some? There was one point which you have mentioned regarding when you get stuck up in some tricky type of question or anything. How do you? Okay, I'll come back to you later. Is one way, but sometimes if suppose you are on the stand, then how do you come out?
You are on what? Any particular specific situation you want to talk about?
No, generally I'm taking it because I
It
can't.
all depends upon the audience and the setup and what kind of setup you are, whether it's one-on-one or it's better if you are not sure how to respond, what to respond, just say, let me think about it and get back to you. Take time. You don't have to go through the pressure of responding and being everything to everybody in a jiffy. We all are not superhumans, right? So take time, buy time when you don't know how to respond, when you don't know the subject, just tell them, I'll get back to you on this.
Okay, thank you.
And then when you say, I get back to you on time, go back and do your research. Like, okay, what are the pros for me? Let's say you want to make a decision. There are two things conflicting, just write the pros and cons of this decision number one and then decision number two. What are the pros and cons? And then most of the time, when you write down things and then decision making becomes really easy. You have a better idea. You know what to give weightage to. And then accordingly, you can take a decision, right? And sometimes it depends whether you want to, difficult situation, always look at whether you really want to continue that relationship in the long term. Is it a long-term relationship? Give more and be more flexible rather than being rigid. We can't do, when you do business, we got to be really flexible and friendly. It's sowing the seed. It's just sowing the seed again and again. And not everything need not be a business transaction. You build relationship. It's even when it comes to business also, it's the 20% that brings the 80% of clients. 20% of your clients will going to bring the remaining 80. It always works that way. So you take care of this 20, then they are the one who's going to advocate for you. They are going to spread the word for you. So how good, it doesn't mean that you have to do a business at loss. It means that you make a business, but also be a little bit flexible, give some incentive, and most of the time people quit their job not because of the company but because of the boss. Most of the time people lose business deals not because they are not capable or their product is not good, but why they lose? Because their support is not good. The customer service, you don't mind buying a crap product if the customer service is excellent. For example, GoDaddy. In the last 2 days, I have been trying to, change my web domain and everything. Almost we spent like 15,000 for that. Okay. Why we go to that? Now my web developer is telling me so many different alternate options, which are very cheaper. Okay. For me, security is more important. And we really don't want to spend time in learning and all those things. Okay. I want to make my life easy. My time is equal to money. So I really want to go for some quality product. And the customer service is like 24/7. GoDaddy is like 24/7. But they are super expensive compared to all the other people. Okay. So I go for it because the customer service is super good and they're a little bit expensive. I don't mind spending that. So you have to like bind and lose. You have to balance. Binding and losing is the key, right? You can't be extremes of like giving everything for free and then be at loss, or you can't be just be very strict with everybody and lose people. When it comes to business, be flexible, all that stuff. Yeah.
It's like you when you speak to that person, they have the confidence and they get guaranteed. Means
Yeah.
by the way you communicate with them.
Yeah. So if somebody is trying to put you on the spot in a group setting or in a group setup, you have to be very diplomatic. Sometimes you really don't know, but you can just repeat. One good trick or one good tips will be, if they are asking you a tricky question, repeat the same question back, throw it back at them,
Okay.
and then it's kind of like a uh, uh, it gives you time also to think what to answer, or you can say like, it's a good question, I think. Very good question,
So what
valid
do you
question.
feel about it? Like means
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah.
Or what would you?
What do you think about it? Yeah, it's very good. And then sometimes just pass the ball to the other people.
Yeah.
One person is opposing, there could be 10 more people who are your fans, who are supporting you and all that stuff. Just throw it to the audience. Sometimes you really don't have to be a omniscient person, knowing everything, know it all, and having solution for everything. Most of the time we pressurize ourselves to be in that place where we should know everything, we should have solutions for everything, we should be the master resources person, blah, blah, blah. You really don't have to be that. Start somewhere, keep evolving, keep developing, So, yeah. So that's about it. Any other question, guys? Anything else? If not, we can close. Make sure to give be specific when you are giving feedback. Practice what you learned here, and in the WhatsApp group, just share it. And I will try to share this. I need some time to do editing, and then I will upload it in the YouTube and share it with you all. Okay. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.